Yo, what's good, YouTube? It's your boy Jay back here with another lit reaction video, and today we got the SpongeBob conspiracy, the Mrs. Puff theory. It's been highly requested in the comments. Thank you for requesting this video, because the last SpongeBob conspiracy videos, they were very successful on this channel, bro. And yeah, bro, I like doing these videos. Just comment down below whatever videos you guys want to see, and I'll react to them. So let's go ahead and get into this, man. Let's go.
This is not Mrs. Puff. You may think she's just SpongeBob's boating teacher, but you'd be very, very wrong. For years, she's been running from her dark and mysterious past, but it's finally caught up to her, and behind it all is a mastermind who's been secretly controlling her life and psychologically torturing her. If you guys thought my last two theories were mind-blowing, get ready for my biggest conspiracy yet. This is the Mrs. Puff.
Yo, bro, everybody go subscribe to what's his name? Alex Bale. Yeah, everybody go subscribe to this channel, bro. This dude puts in work to, like, bro, he has to go on websites, like go to old episodes, like literally go study this stuff to go find this stuff, bro. Like put it all together to make it make sense. Like he really has to work hard on this stuff to do this, bro. Seriously. Yeah, man. Shout out to my bro Alex Bell, bro. Keep making these good videos, bro, so I can react to them. And yeah, everybody like, comment, share, and subscribe on this, and hit that bell on this video.
Theory. I gotta start off by saying, wow, the reaction to my last two SpongeBob theories has been insane.
How did she know? How did she know?
Squilliam, you lying
Oh, you should have added mines in there, bro. Mines was like, it did pretty well on my channel. It's my highest video now. At first, my highest video was a Fortnite. Not Fortnite, but Among Us video. And then I checked it today, and it was at 400 views, bro. That's my highest on my channel. And I see these type of videos, the SpongeBob conspiracies that I react to, are like my highest ranked videos in my Among Us reactions. I'm going to do more workout videos, so everybody just stay tuned for that. And follow me on Instagram. I ain't watching KJ, man. And let's get back into the video.
deceiving? Where's that handsome young devil?
I'm glad you guys are enjoying my ridiculously deep dives into the show. I mean, I have to watch so much SpongeBob and read so much of the Wikipedia to put these theories together.
What I just tell y'all, you gotta really do his research and go like find stuff on websites and do all this stuff, bro. You gotta literally work hard. If you want to make videos like that, bro, you gotta work 1,000 times harder than any other YouTuber, bro. Seriously.
But it's worth it because the writers actually take the time to set these things up. Now, a lot of people have been asking, Alex, how do you come up with these crazy conspiracy theories? Well, I always start these theories by looking for the moments in the show that seem to be implying more than they're letting on. Like I've said before, SpongeBob is a weird show with lots of abstract humor, but I can usually understand the intent the writers had behind a weird joke. But then there's stuff like this. I hope I still remember how to do this. Yeah. And it's so confusing and weird that it feels like the writers are trying to imply something beyond just weirdness for the sake of comedy. And
yeah. I thought about that too. When I rewatched that episode in 2016, I rewatched it or whatever. It came on TV and I was watching it. I was like, when I was younger, I didn't really get it, but in 2016, I was like, hold on. So she used to do it. Then they tried to set up a joke with the balloon. It was really crazy. It was like, bro, so she used to be a criminal or something. That was the first thing that crossed my mind, but I stopped thinking about it. Now I see this video. It's crazy.
Nowhere in the show is there more of these moments than with Mrs. Puff. And once I started looking into it, it led me down the deepest rabbit hole I've ever seen from this show. So, let's begin. Uh-oh. Looks like I'm getting hacked by a hacker. I knew this would happen if I got too close to the truth. Well, it's a good thing this video is sponsored by NordVPN. If you're watching this video...
Nice try.
And if you're not satisfied, there's a 30-day money-back guarantee. Now I can finally make my YouTube students except for one, SpongeBob SquarePants. He's taken her driver's test hundreds of times, and he always ends up failing it and causing destruction and chaos that usually ends up with Mrs. Puff going to jail, despite it not really being her fault. We also know that she was once married, but her husband was killed by fishermen.
That's my driving teacher, Mrs. Puff!
Mrs.
Oh yeah, I forgot all about that.
Puff. She's married.
Oh no, Mr. Krabs. She's single.
Then what happened to Mr. Puff?
She doesn't like to talk about it.
Throughout the show, there are moments like this that seem to be hinting at her having a dark, mysterious past. And in Season 2, Episode 10, No Free Rides, we get the biggest clue about who Mrs. Puff really is. After SpongeBob fails the driving test yet again, Mrs. Puff has just had it with him and ends up just giving up and giving him his license even though he never really passed. She quickly realizes that this is a horrible idea and he'll probably end up destroying...
Worst mistake in history. letting this dude get his license, bro. Wait a minute. Did he ever get his license? Because there's plenty of times where he actually drove places. Plenty of episodes. So I'm gonna go check that out after I react to this, bro.
The entire town.
So much destruction. This reporter asks, why? Local consensus places the blame on this negligent, selfish driving instructor who...
Remember this clip, because it's going to be very important later on. And then she says this insanely revealing line.
What have I done? Everyone will know that I let him slide through school. I'll have to move to a new city, start a new boating school with a new name. No, not again.
No, not again. Come on, it's like they're just begging someone to make a theory about this. So we now know Mrs. Puff was originally from a different town, she used to own a different boating school, and Mrs. Puff isn't even her real name. There's something in her past that she ran away from. Now, there's been some debate over whether she's actually referring to a new name for herself or for her boating school, but I do think she's talking about her own name, because if she's trying to run away from something in her past, she wouldn't start a new boating school with her real name in the title. Now, when she says again...
Exactly, bro. Nobody would do that. That wouldn't even make sense. Somebody to do something like that.
I don't think she's just referring to starting a new life.
Everyone will know that I let him slide through school. Not again.
I think at her previous boating school, she had a terrible student just like SpongeBob who she prematurely gave a license to, and it led to something so terrible happening that she had to run away and start a whole new life. In Season 3, Episode 5, Doing Time, we get a flashback to when she first opened up the school.
The opening of my new boating school, I pledge that as long as a student is willing to learn, I shall
Wait. Hold on. When she said my new boating school, does that imply, I don't know if I'm reaching, but doesn't that imply that she had a previous boating school before this? Maybe I'm reaching, but it sounds like it, bro.
never give up.
Hi, I'm SpongeBob SquarePants.
With the opening of this new boating school, let's keep in mind that this is not her first boating school. Maybe the whole reason she's making this pledge now at her second school is because she gave up on a student at her previous school, and that led to her having to run away and start a new life. She's pledging to never make the same mistake again. Now let's skip ahead to one of the newer episodes. Season 12, Episode 21, Lighthouse Louie, where Mrs. Puff has SpongeBob organize all the stuff she keeps in the school's lighthouse. There's lots of interesting things hidden in the background, but the first thing that caught my eye was this file labeled Mrs. Puff. It makes sense for a teacher to have files on all their students, but why would she have a file about herself? But let's remember, she's not Mrs. Puff. That's a fake identity she created, and I'm willing to bet all of her fake identification documents are in this file. Back in No Free Rides, she just gives SpongeBob a license that she already had for him. So she clearly makes these licenses and would probably know how to make fake identifications. But that's not the only hint about Mrs. Puff's past in this lighthouse. There is something in here that directly confirms all of this. As SpongeBob swallows all of Mrs. Puff's junk, we see something very interesting for only a few frames. The deranged boat teacher makes getaway. 10 seasons later...
Mind blown. Alex Bell, bro, you've outdone yourself with this one, bro. Like, that's wild, bro. I'm pretty sure nobody paid attention to that, bro. Like, nobody. You really have to study this stuff, like I was saying at first, bro. But this is crazy. This is like, bro, this is like I said, mind blowing, bro. Seeing all this stuff like this.
and the creators are still hiding stuff about Mrs. Puff fleeing her old life. It might not look like it at first, but we actually get a ton of new information from this newspaper. This is from the New Kelp Post, which tells us Mrs. Puff originally lived in New Kelp City. Then there's a caption that reads, "Distracts authorities with balloon animals." And do you remember that clip from the beginning?
I hope I still remember how to do this. Yeah.
So whenever Mrs. Puff makes a getaway or commits a crime, she leaves behind a balloon animal to distract the police. I'm telling you guys, these writers don't just do stuff randomly. They have reasons for everything. And the most
Wait. He says they have a reason for like, what's the reason though? What would be the reason for them to put this in here? Like, they put it in plain sight for us to... I guess they think, like, because, like, when you're a kid, like, you're not gonna get the jokes, I guess, or... I guess. That's all I can come up with that, I guess.
The main piece of evidence from this newspaper is actually the picture of Mrs. Puff. Kind of a strange photo, right? We have seen this exact same photo of her before. In the episode No Free Rides, when she imagines what would happen if SpongeBob got his license.
Local consensus places the blame on this negligent, selfish driving instructor.
This means that this isn't just her imagination of what might happen. This is also her remembering what happened when she lived in New Kelp City and prematurely gave one of her students a license. And I'm willing to bet that the fish reporting the news is the exact same one who reported about her in New Kelp City. Let me explain. We know from the episode Whatever Happened to SpongeBob that reporters from the Bikini Bottom News can also work for the New Kelp City News. But the real reason I think this is because of his hair. In the entire show, we have never seen this fish reporter with hair before. Why would the creators go out of their way to add that detail? Because Mrs. Puff isn't imagining him as he looks now. She's remembering him from years ago when he used to have hair, when he reported about her in New Kelp City. Mrs. Puff has been running from her past ever since, and is now forced to relive her experience with an unteachable student through SpongeBob. But reliving this trauma...
Bro, I'm really thankful for whoever commented for me to react to this, bro. Like, this is a great video, bro. Like, I'm speechless, bro. This is a great video. I'm very thankful for you guys who comment for me to react to this kind of stuff, bro. It's amazing. I love these kind of videos, bro. Yeah, and after this video goes off, bro, like, comment down below what you guys want me to react to next.
Has pushed her to the point of complete insanity. And trust me when I say that you have no idea how delusional she actually is. Another running gag throughout the series is Mrs. Puff's occasional nervous breakdowns or moments of insanity because of SpongeBob, and they get more severe as the show continues. At first she did care for SpongeBob, but in the newer episodes she literally tries to kill SpongeBob just to get him out of her life. Even SpongeBob just walking up to her gives her severe PTSD.
Hi, Mrs. Puff.
Ah! Hit the brakes! SpongeBob! Watch the train! Laugh!
Wait, Mrs. Puff, we're not driving.
These mostly seem like just one-off moments, and for the most part, Mrs. Puff is still a functioning member of society, right? I'm going to show you that she's actually much more insane and delusional than you may think, and some of the episodes she's in take place entirely in her own head. If we're talking about how insane Mrs. Puff is, there is no better place to start than the episode Doing Time. Once again, SpongeBob fails the boating test and causes destruction and chaos, which leads to Mrs. Puff going to jail. SpongeBob keeps breaking into jail to try and bust her out, but Mrs. Puff actually prefers being in jail over teaching him. We actually get another interesting line about Mrs. Puff's past in this episode.
Okay, you can do this, Puff. You can get through this without losing your sanity. Oh, that's a road we don't want to go down again.
So we know that Mrs. Puff has lost her sanity in the past, probably from...
Okay, starting to make sense. Bro, how do you come up with these videos, bro? Like, seriously, how do you come up with this stuff? Like, bro, it's like a lot. You can make your own show, bro, with all this stuff, bro. Like, it's lit, bro. Shout out Alex Bell.
her previous terrible student. But it seems like she's recovered since then, except in this episode she has a complete mental breakdown. SpongeBob keeps appearing in impossible places until she gets thrown into solitary confinement, where each wall of the room transforms into a giant SpongeBob face. And then the episode ends in a way that's so weird and confusing that it rivals the infamous Gorilla episode ending. As Mrs. Puff freaks out, she suddenly
okay, let me just clear this up right now. No. Compared to that, bro, this is much more Stranger Than the Gorilla episode. Okay, because this, on the other hand, is just like the whole thing. Everything was in her head, bro. The whole, like, from beginning to end. So it was like she imagined the whole thing. I guess when they were in the air, she imagined everything that whole day, and none of that stuff happened. The jail, nothing. So it was kind of crazy.
Transported back into the beginning of the episode when SpongeBob was taking the test. Except this time, SpongeBob gets arrested instead of her.
Help! Help! No! This is not a good time! No!
I can't believe it. It was all a dream. I'm not going to jail.
Why would you go to jail? You already did your time.
Forget it.
So what's really going on in this episode? Was the ending all in her head? Is Mrs. Puff just caught in an endless loop? I think this entire episode is inside of Mrs. Puff's head, and she's actually on the outside the whole time, but she's been imagining herself inside of prison. I can explain. Listen closely to what the police officer tells Mrs. Puff.
I'm not going to jail.
Why would you go to jail? You already did your time.
Why would you go to jail? You already did your time. And then revealing she's still in a prison uniform despite being on the outside. So, this scene is obviously inside of her head, which means everything we see is symbolic. And if we can understand the symbolism of it, we can understand what's really going on with Mrs. Puff. Notice how she's suddenly wearing a black and white striped prison uniform, even though the entire episode she's been wearing this orange jumpsuit. Why would the creators go to the extra effort to draw a whole new prison uniform for her? Well, we've seen her wear this black and white prison uniform before. The very first time she went to prison, back in Season 1, Episode 7, Hall Monitor. So when the police officer says, "You've already done..."
Oh yeah, I forgot all about the episode. It's been a while since I've seen that.
her time, he's referring to the first time she went to jail. But why is she still wearing that uniform outside of prison? Well, she may have gotten out of jail, but she was by no means free. Having to teach SpongeBob is a prison in itself, and she manifests that by believing she's in jail and wearing a prison uniform despite being on the outside. This entire episode, every time SpongeBob magically appears, is all inside of her head. She is completely delusional, and hints that she's experiencing these hallucinations don't stop there.
Bro, I really want to finish this whole video, but I'm sorry guys, I really gotta skip to the end. My storage is like, I have literally not that much storage left, so I literally have to skip to the end. Let's see how he explains everything. Let's see. Okay.
He tells SpongeBob that he has to represent Mr. Krabs, even though he himself called SpongeBob a liability.
Actually, SpongeBob, we won't be needing any testimony from you. Why, you'd be more of a liability than an asset.
But it's okay, because apparently all SpongeBob needs to win is inside of Richard's briefcase.
Everything you need to win is in this here case. Really? Everything?
Except when SpongeBob gets to court, he realizes that Richard never gave him the combination to the case.
It's, all in here.
Really?
Yep, right in here.
Is there a problem?
Your lawyer didn't give me the combination.
Either Richard A. Bottomfeeder is the worst lawyer in history, or this is all part of his elaborate plan to ruin Mrs. Puff's life. Here's what I think happened. First, he finds out that Mr. Krabs is being sued, and he wants to ensure that Mr. Krabs loses the case because he wants to destroy any chance Mrs. Puff has at finding love. So he pretends to be a lawyer, even offering his services for free, something Mr. Krabs can't resist. He makes Mr. Krabs feel confident that they're gonna win the case, and then at the last second he pretends to get into an accident so he can't represent Mr. Krabs. Instead of finding a real lawyer to replace him, he tells the most incompetent person for the job, SpongeBob, that he has to be Mr. Krabs' lawyer, and he gives him a case that allegedly has all the answers in it without actually giving SpongeBob the combination.
Okay, this dude, it's clear what he was trying to do, bro. Yep, exactly what you just said. It's clear as day, bro. He didn't give him no information about anything. It's all in here. When I first watched this episode years ago, bro, I didn't even think about all that, bro. Like, I didn't think about none of this. Because I was like a little kid when this episode came out, bro. So I didn't really think of it like that. He gave him no information. What I know now, bro, he gave him no information. Not the combination. Nothing. He just came in. Bro, what is this?
setting him up for a total failure in court. Richard A. Bottomfeeder refuses to let anyone get close to Mrs. Puff, not Dorsal Dan, and not Mr. Krabs. This guy has squillion levels of hate for Mrs. Puff. But why? What exactly did her previous student do that warrants this much torture? It can't be something as simple as him or his property getting damaged. It has to be something life-changing. Something like losing a loved one because of the student's reckless driving. And I think the show gives us one last hint about who this might have been. All the pictures of Mrs. Puff's house are very meaningful to her. She's got photos of Mr. Krabs, her pet snail, and of course those infinitely looping photos that told us so much about her mental state. But there is one more photo in this house that might be the key to this entire conspiracy. In Season 12, Episode 14, Plankton's Old Chum, we see a photo of someone we've never seen before on Mrs. Puff's wall. There's some surprising similarities between this character and Richard. The green color, the red bow tie, the overall fancy, serious appearance. It clearly isn't the same person, but maybe...
Wait, before he says that, bro, this is getting juicy. Wish I could react to the whole thing, bro, but I had to cut to the chase. I don't want to run out of stories before my video finishes, and because I want you guys to see this great content. Request something else that you want me to react to in the comments down below, but let's finish this vid.
This is someone related to Richard, like a father, a son, or a brother that Mrs. Puff's former student killed. And the reason she keeps a photo of him up is to have a permanent reminder to never make the same mistake of giving someone a license who doesn't deserve it. Mrs. Puff is a boating school teacher who once made a terrible mistake that led to the loss of her business, identity, sanity, and any chance at finding happiness. I like to think that there used to be a time when she was happy, back when her husband was still alive. If only he was still around today, maybe she wouldn't have to face all of this on her own. Thank you for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed.
Yo, this video by Alex Bale, bro. This was something, bro. This, like... this was more of a bombshell than the Squilliam video, bro, to be honest. Like, honestly. So, bro, you guys gotta give me 1,000 views for this one, bro. You gotta give me 1,000 views, bro. Share this video everywhere. Yeah, man, like, if you're new to the channel, subscribe and hit that bell. If you're a returning subscriber, bro, you know, like this video, comment, and share it to everywhere, you know, bro. Follow me on Instagram at IamYTKJ. And we're out. Peace.